cannot believe I actually get to say this, but Cyberpunk 2077 is finally coming out.
Heart of Night City. That's it right there.
Seriously, it's been a crazy long wait for the game, and it's a miracle that it's finally upon us. In case you've been living under a rock, Cyberpunk 2077 is the brand new RPG from Polish developer CD Projekt Red, who made the smash hit The Witcher 3. Set in the lavish, chaotic, and action-packed Night City, Cyberpunk 2077 is jam-packed with tons of content and could very well revolutionize the open-world RPG genre. With a game so dense and filled with content, it's only fitting that you should know certain things before you pop that bad boy in on December 10th. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button, or Cyberpunk will be delayed again. Just kidding, just kidding. Without further ado, here are 10 things you need to know before you buy Cyberpunk 2077. Character customization. Alright, let's start things off with the first thing you'll be doing as soon as the game is downloaded: customizing your character. Cyberpunk 2077 boasts a huge, robust character creator that lets you customize things beyond just your skin tone, hair color, style, and body type. You'll actually be allowed to customize crazy little details like the shape of your teeth or the length of your fingernails, as well as tattoos, piercings, and scars. And in case you want to get nasty, you'll be able to customize your genitals and nipples, or get rid of them altogether. We don't judge, seeing as it is an RPG. You'll also be able to customize your character's stats at the start of the game, such as how cool or intelligent they are. These stats then break down into individual skill trees.
Solos prefer a direct approach. They use guns and might.
That'll reflect how you play the game. For example, if you double down on the cool stat, you'll be great at stealth and using sniper rifles. You can choose your own backstory. Once you're done customizing your character, you'll be able to choose your origin story. Most RPGs throw you right into the middle of an already existing world as a character who is a blank slate. Skyrim! In Cyberpunk 2077, you actually get to choose the life path for your character V. You can pick from 3 radically different life paths, with the first being Street Kid. Pretty self-explanatory here. You begin as a hustler on the streets of Night City, slowly climbing the ranks of the underworld and becoming the crime lord you always dreamed about. The second backstory is Corpo, in which you'll begin your journey as a corporate drone for the prestigious Arasaka Corporation. Your character will already be one of the elites in Night City, which means you'll have to deal with even more high-profile enemies who are out to backstab you. If you want your character to experience Night City for the first time alongside you, then you should pick the third option, Nomad. You'll start as a drifter in the desert outskirts of Night City, eventually ending up in the megalopolis. Whatever backstory you choose, you'll definitely have tons of choices to make along the way. Plus, it'll be exciting to go back and replay the game with a completely different backstory. The soundtrack features real-life musicians. Like any open-world game set in a bustling metropolis, Cyberpunk 2077 has diverse radio stations that offer tons of different moods and genres. What makes this game's soundtrack so special is that real-life musicians that you know and love produced songs specifically for the game. In a video update, the CD Projekt Red crew confirmed that there are well over 100 unique tracks for the game that'll make driving through Night City an absolute blast. Some of the artists who produce new music for the game include hip-hop duo Run the Jewels, indie artist Grimes, and rap superstar A$AP Rocky. What's even more exciting is that these artists have performed their tracks under pseudonyms, essentially becoming part of the Cyberpunk lore. My favorite part about this is that the Grimes character in the game is called Lizzie Wizzy, a singer who killed herself during a concert and was later brought to life with cyberware. It's insane, and I am so here for it. Multiplayer will get here eventually. Cyberpunk 2077 isn't just a single-player open-world experience. It's also set to have a robust multiplayer that'll rival the likes of GTA Online or Fortnite. Development on the main single-player campaign has been so lengthy that CD Projekt Red delayed the multiplayer portion of the game for 2021.
Well, Who do we have here?
Details on the multiplayer portion of the game are slim, but the development team has confirmed that they're treating the online version of the game as a standalone product, not a mode. We'll probably know more details once the game has successfully launched. So, if you were hoping to run amok in Night City with your friends, you'll have to wait until 2021. Next-gen compatible. Were you one of the lucky few who managed to snag a next-gen console during the chaos that was 2020? If so, you'll be able to explore Night City as well, just like everyone else when the game launches.
Justice. In Night City, I seek revenge. Much more feasible here.
The game is backwards compatible on PS5 and Xbox Series X, and will have slight graphical upgrades to make use of the next-gen hardware. However, if you were hoping for a full-on next-gen port, then you'll have to wait for a while. CD Projekt Red has confirmed that the game will get a large patch that'll fully take advantage of next-gen consoles sometime in 2021. The best part? It's completely free. Unfortunately, we don't know exactly when in 2021, but a vague release window is better than no window. PC specs. Alright, this is for you master race players out there who couldn't care less about a next-gen port. Cyberpunk 2077 is a beast of a game, so you'll need a quality PC to max out Night City's offerings. However, not everyone has their hands on the latest tech, so here are the minimum specs you'll need to run the game. An Intel Core i5-3570K or an AMD FX 8310 is the minimum for the CPU. As for the GPU, you're going to have to be working with an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 780 3 gigs or an AMD Radeon RX 470. On top of that, you're going to need at least 8 gigs of RAM. Now, for the recommended specs, you're going to need an Intel Core i7-4790 or an AMD Ryzen 3 3200G to go alongside an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 6 gigs or an AMD Radeon R9 Fury. As for RAM, 12 gigs should do the job. The game is going to take up to 70 gigs of hard drive space. If you're into ray tracing, the game does support it. As for consoles, we can imagine the install size is about the same. Buy a physical copy. Remember when you used to buy a game and it came with tons of free stuff like a map of the game or a full-on instructional booklet? Well, CD Projekt Red is bringing physical goodies back in style. We get it. Downloading a game right now to your console without having to leave your couch is hassle-free, and playing it as the clock strikes midnight is a rush, unlike any other. However, we highly encourage you to buy a physical copy of the game. Not only can you sell the game once you're done playing it, which is a fat chance, considering the game will take over 150 plus hours to complete, but if you buy a physical copy of Cyberpunk, you'll get loads of physical swag that you just won't get when you buy the game digitally. The physical version of the game will come with a map of Night City, stickers, postcards showing off the various locales of Night City, as well as a world compendium that'll break down the game's lore for you. All in all, it's a pretty sweet deal to get for the same price as the digital edition. You can ride Keanu Reeves' bikes. By now, you probably know that Keanu Reeves is in Cyberpunk as one of the main characters you'll be coming across, Johnny Silverhands. What you probably didn't know is that in real life, Keanu Reeves is a huge motorcycle fanatic.
And I just grew up really loving Nortons.
In fact, he's the co-founder of Arch Motorcycle Company, a manufacturer of high-end, custom-made bikes. To help embrace the vehicles of Cyberpunk 2077, CD Projekt Red and Arch Motorcycle partnered up to bring some of the company's bikes into the game. So, while you're rushing yourself through the streets of Night City, you very well could be on top of one of Keanu Reeves' premium motorcycles. The bikes will sound and look just like they should in real life, albeit with some hints of the cyberpunk aesthetic. You can play the game without killing anybody. Cyberpunk 2077 is a game built on choice, which extends to exactly how you play the game. One of the unique features in the game is that you can play the entirety of it without killing anybody. That's right, you can play an M-rated action RPG without having killed a single soul. You can't avoid direct conflict, as you'll be fighting tons of enemies throughout your stay in Night City. Instead of killing enemies, you can deal with them non-lethally in a variety of ways.
Might live out their Terminator power fantasy.
If the year 2020 has taught us anything, it's that a little kindness can go a long way. So why not go through a pacifist run while you're playing through the game? This is a huge game. It goes without saying, but Cyberpunk 2077 is an experience that's going to shave tons of hours off of your productivity. In fact, a QA tester revealed he's been playing the game for 175 hours and still hasn't finished it. Well, what makes the game so huge? Night City has 6 unique districts and still hasn't finished it. Well, what makes the game so huge? Night City has 6 unique districts, each with their own sub-districts. Each district is filled with quirky characters, action-packed missions, and tons of side quests like races. Outside of Night City is a full-fledged desert wasteland, Mad Max style. In addition to how densely packed Night City is, the game boasts 8 unique gangs that you'll be interacting with. We haven't even touched upon the numerous vehicles and guns in the game, as well as the cybernetic attachments you can add to your own body. It's safe to say that you'll be spending dozens upon dozens of hours playing Cyberpunk 2077, so you might as well use up your vacation days to see all there is to see in Night City. Well, there you have it, folks. 10 things you need to know before you buy Cyberpunk 2077. What are you most excited to do in Night City? Let us know in the comments, and be sure to like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button, it really helps us.